I spoke on one of my videos about the Great Deception, the evolutionary delusion. That a lot of the world is under. A lot of the people believing in this evolutionary stuff, they can't see evidence uh, in the way. They can't see the evidence correctly. They are under a delusion, a way of looking at the evidence, which only they can interpret through their worldview. The delusion that has come upon them and has made them futile in their thinking, and basically can't escape their own delusion. Um, this is interesting. So, what happens when a majority of the world are under this delusion? Now, this is a scary thought. Is things like, uh, is it eugenetics? What happens when evolutionists have actual control? And what happens when this delusion actually takes over the world? They start wanting to control everyone. Okay, so what did Hitler? Hitler is a great example of an evolutionist that has the power to do things he wants to do, and to follow his ideology, which, remember, is a satanic belief system that has been encouraged by demonic forces and the devil to control and enslave mankind. So what happens when an enslaved and deluded individual with a mindset stuck in this delusion gets in control? He thinks he's doing the world a favour, doesn't he? He even put on the belt buckles of uh, the soldiers, "God with us." That's how deluded these people have become. They've become that we are doing good work. That yeah, that's how deluded. So evolution. Remember, he's an evolutionist. Hitler's an evolutionist, and what does he start doing? Well, let's start purging out the genetics of the nation. Let's start getting rid of culling these unfit people, and that ultimately is the plan of this Satan, as we see in Revelation. We see the prophetic picture of what happens when Satan gets control of people and nations. He starts murdering the good people. He starts murdering the good, the Christians and the ones, God's people, the Jews. That's what he does, and it's exactly what he's done, always done, and that's what he's always tried to do. When Jesus was born, what did he do? He got Herod to try and slaughter all the newborn babies under a certain age. When Moses was born, what was happening at his time of his birth? All the newborn babies were getting slaughtered at that time as well, of the Jews. So he is into abortion. He is into murder, mass murder. And if we see an evolutionist completely given over to this worldview and to this satanic deception, we get that exactly. That's exactly what happens. Death. They believe in death and suffering, and they bring it. They bring it to the world. But they think they're doing the world a favour because in their eyes, oh, survival of the fittest, which just so happens to be had been invented by, or thought about, came from a creationist. Okay, so the evolutionists just stole that idea off the creationists. Then creationists have that in there as a Christian model, that we know natural order, that survival actually occurs and animals die. So that's a creationist more understanding. But evolution takes that far, far worse. That thing is bent and twisted and warped, and we get Hitlers. Okay, we get genocide. So we get all these things happening. And you say, well, hang on, in the Bible there was genocide. So you try and turn the Bible against us, and yes, but look at God commanded genocide. Oh, so is God evil? Interesting part about what God was doing back then with the Jewish nation was he was getting rid of all the false religions and the false worship of the nations around them, so they could actually survive. So that is survival of the fittest. He was doing that. He was doing that so Israel would be here today, and it is. Well done. Good work. He knew what he was doing. If he hadn't, Israel would have been consumed by its foreign neighbors and its enemies, and we wouldn't have a nation of Israel. So, but what is Hitler or someone who's an evolutionist do? They basically try to murder God's people, the good people. Okay, whereas Satan, his people, well, who cares about his people? They're all evil, aren't they? They're all evil, wishing foreign gods. Imagine that you're God and you're up there and you're praying everything, and these people are just worshipping all these evil things. Of course, you're going to be ticked off with them, mate. But luckily, he's forgiving and more merciful than obviously most people, and he actually allows people to get saved and repent. But for those who don't repent, yes, there is a massive judgment day coming for them. Not only in this lifetime, but in the one to come. So there is going to be, it talks about the Antichrist and this false religion on the world. And what do? What does it predict? It predicts that they are going to kill all those who won't worship this false religion, won't bow down to it. And what are they saying? They're bowing down to this image, or this taking this name, taking this belief system. And what is it? It's 666. And it's interesting how 6 is the number in the Bible for man, because we were made on the 6th day. And there's 3 sixes, which is, it's like a false worship of God, a false way of, false religion. And yeah, so if anyone doesn't bow to this religion, this man's religion, they are, put to death. So again, we have this Hitler mentality coming out in the coming out as a prediction of the Bible of when evolutionists have their way and they control everyone. Okay, so that's interesting, and they'll justify it, saying we're doing it for the whatever reasons, the good of mankind, save the entropy of genetic entropy, resources of the planet, or whatever they use. It doesn't really matter, because we all know why they're doing it. Because they're under a great delusion and they're being controlled by Satan and demonic forces.